Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. They're doing building work, so there might be some background noise. Today's video is not going to be a regular classic vinyl review, because I've got a few albums to show you. I'm just going to do it all in one compact, so we'll get straight into it. These are all my Beatles extra records. Now, I'm a huge, colossal Beatles fan, so when I'm when I'm looking through a bin of records, if I see a Beatles one, I'm going to buy it. It's a curse. Some of these I bought for that reason. But anyway, we'll start with this one. Everyone knows this one. This is the Beatles singles record, which is really cool. This was the first Beatles album I picked up. When I was getting into the Beatles, obviously I think everyone starts with the hits with an A artist, and it's a great little record, some fantastic songs. I love the song, The Ballad of John and Yoko. Forever I thought on the chorus it was John and Yoko singing with Yoko's backing vocals, but it wasn't. It's only ever John and Paul on that track. But yeah, this is great, and I love the gatefold. It's superb. Its sleeves are lovely, with all the Beatles singles album covers, which is really cool. Now let's put it back properly, because there's a lot. And then this one is their early years. Really cool. I love the early 60s haircuts and the cheesy smiles that they had to have for the cameras, and it's just brilliant. And then you get down to something like Beatles for Sale, where they were fed up with the cheesy smiles. But I mean, if you're if you're just a casual music listener, this is something you might pick up. Whereas some of the other ones I'm going to show you are more for full-on Beatles fans. So next up is the one I was talking about in the previous two episodes, the Beatles Love album. This is superb. This is spectacular. Now, I picked this up in Liverpool, so it's even more special for me. But it's a there was a Beatles, I can't pronounce it, Cirque du Soleil. It's a huge sort of ballerina, I don't even know, is it a ballerina show or it's a stage show anyway, where they play music and the people dance. But I cannot for the life of me pronounce the name. Cirque du Soleil. I'll show you here. So it comes with this amazing book. We're full of Beatles pictures and pictures from the show. It's so cool. And then there's a write-up here. So it tells you all about it. In June 2006, the show Love opened to a wonderful reception in the Mirage in Las Vegas. Years before, the original idea was born from the most unlikely of places. George Harrison and Guy Liberati, the founder of Cirque du Soleil, were both enormous fans of motor racing, and when they met, they became firm friends. As a coincidence, a unique collaboration was formed between the fantastic world of Cirque du Soleil and the brilliance of Beatles music. Guy discussed the concept with Giles, his head of creation, and plans were laid. Negotiations cemented, and eventually I was approached to work on the music. My brief was to create a soundscape of around 1.5 hours length, using any sound I needed from the original Beatles multi-track recordings. It was an offer one could hardly refuse. I asked my son Giles if he would work with me on this project. So that's obviously George Martin. And what they did was combined a bunch of different Beatles songs together to make a soundtrack, and it is superb. It is fantastic. So some highlights is Get Back Bleeding Into Glass Onion, superb. Eleanor Rigby cut off this album is amazing. I Am the Walrus, where it sort of fades out into clapping, and then it's the Ed Sullivan shouting, "Here's the Beatles!" It's superb. And then that obviously goes into I Want to Hold Your Hand. The Beatles song Sun King is reversed. So you've got the song Gnickness. Something is amazing. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite / I Want to Hold Your Hand / Helter Skelter. That was the one I was talking about. It is spectacular. So it starts off as Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, and then around the second verse it just sort of explodes, and you got these really, really heavy She's So Heavy guitars coming in with Helter Skelter lyrics. It is brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. So if you know the Beatles song Blackbird, it's got that very beautiful acoustic guitar bit at the end. So there's Blackbird / Yesterday. So they've taken the end of Blackbird with that lovely guitar and added it to the start of Yesterday. And it really adds something to the track. It's brilliant. Within Without You / Tomorrow Never Knows, superb. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds on this album is fantastic. There's a really great version of Lady Madonna they did. And, you can't forget. So, you got Come Together, Dear Prudence, which there's Come Together, and then they added the Cry Baby Cry, which was a little snippet off the White Album. And then that sort of fades out. And then Revolution, the bit where Revolution kicks in is the best part of this fucking album. Because, Come Together fades out, and then you just get hit with this huge guitar riff. It sounds phenomenal, especially on vinyl. It is superb and just explodes in your ears. Fucking fantastic. And then Revolution bleeds into Back in the USSR, which is amazing. There's an acoustic version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which is stunning. And I love All You Need Is Love closes the album, but there's a bit on the end they added, which is just the Beatles talking with a bit of background music, but it's so special and it's just brilliant. If you've never listened to this, go and give it a listen. Now, another soundtrack, I found this in a local record store, not like the big one I go to. We have the original motion picture Yesterday. So there are Beatles songs, but they're sung by the actor, whose name is, please tell me the name of the actor. Daniel. His name's Daniel. Cool. So it's just snippets on Yesterday, but some of them it gets a bit annoying. I don't know, because I like when I'm listening to a song, I really don't like the song being interrupted. And I know this is a soundtrack from a film, but when it gets to like Let It Be, the joke is that he's trying to sing this really beautiful song they haven't heard before, but his family keep interrupting him. And for a movie, it's great, but when it's a soundtrack and you're trying to listen to the music, it's really, really irritating. But it was an alright film. I don't hate Ed Sheeran, but what I hated was, it was a romantic comedy. So at the end of the film, they had to have, and there was obviously a big romantic song, and they played an Ed Sheeran song. And it really bothers me because it was a film about the Beatles, and they could have had any Beatles song from their entire catalogue, some of the greatest love music ever, and they played an Ed Sheeran song. What? Who made that decision? That's ridiculous. That was the only thing that bothered me about the film. And there were bits here and there, but that just really irritated me. But anyway, it was a great film. And this is a great soundtrack. Did I show you the gatefold? We'll move on. So these two are pretty much the same. Well, this is the Beatles Decca tapes. I found this in the local record store as well. It says it's manufactured in Europe. And it's a proper, I thought this was a, what are they called? The word's gone. Bootleg. I thought this was a bootleg, but it's not. It's a proper European record label. And I love this gatefold. The only reason it's worth showing you is the gatefold and the write-up on the back. But the music on here is the same as the music on the next one I'm about to show you. So, Careful. There you go. If you love the Beatles, you can definitely search this up because it's called A Have, but it's not like, it's not very interesting because you can just equally pick up this bad boy, the Beatles Anthology 1. I'm hoping this is interesting for you. It probably isn't. No, I'm joking. This is fantastic, although I've never listened to all of it. I have to be honest with you. It's just, this is like 4 hours long, and I don't have the time of day. I can't listen to a 4 hour long record. As much as I love the Beatles, I can't do it. It's just too long. And they are just like B-sides and demos of songs that I've already got, you know. If I want to listen to Can't Buy Me Love, I'll put A Hard Day's Night on. You know, it's just things like that. But Free as a Bird is such an amazing song. And I'm a huge fan of ELO's Jeff Lynne. His production on the track, he did a fantastic job. As well as all the other Beatles. They did amazing. And it's such a superb song. As well as Real Love. Now, I kind of want to pick up Anthology 2 and 3. But I haven't been able to find them. And I'm not that big on secondhand records. But this is, it's cool to have, but it's just a bit long. Now, there's one more to show you. Which is another one I found in my local record store, and it's weird. This is the Beatles Broadcasting Live in the USA 64. Limited edition blue vinyl. So that's a cool album cover, cool back cover. Well, what's weird about it is there's 5 songs per side of the live album, and then there's proper Love Me Do, like studio versions of the songs. It sounds really weird, it just sort of cuts, and then you've got this proper studio mixed song. It's really jarring, but it's really cool to have, because especially with the clear blue vinyl, I know it's super cool. But I've never heard of Coda Publishing before, which is the record label, so maybe that's, I don't know, but it's just cool to have. And it's kind of a curse of mine to, if I see a Beatles record I've never seen before, I just buy it. I don't even think about it. And I do that with Oasis too, but anyway, not talking about Oasis. The Beatles are such a superb band, and they have so many different best of albums, and this album, that album. You can find loads of them out there. I wouldn't mind picking up the American versions, but they can be a bit hard to find. And yeah, I mean, that's all my extra Beatles stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time where we go over the White Album, the fantastic White Album. See you again soon.